Congratulations guys, especially the sixth semester guys who have completed your examinations or are about to complete your examinations. Congratulations again. Is because you have crossed a milestone in your life, and this vacation is going to be critical for you. Now this video is especially for you, but however, if others are watching who are in other years, this would be a value add. But sixth semester guys, this video is to be focused on you. All right. Now, very quickly, what am I going to talk in this video is the importance of the vacation that's going to come up. You're going to, after exams, you will have a month or a couple of months vacation that will come up. And a lot of you, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to go ahead and strike an internship in a core company that will help you to get your placements done. Good job. But there are better ways of doing it, and that is what we are going to discuss in this video, right? So this video is going to be a little longer than the usual videos because there is a lot of content which I want to share with you. But one thing I can definitely tell you is, end of this video you will exactly know what you should go ahead and do in this vacation, and what are those things that will give you a perfect mileage or will help you to go ahead and find a job of your choice. Okay, so let me start with this. Let me go ahead and start with some of the common mistakes people make or students make when it comes to this this vacation time. The most common thing people do is they go ahead and try to get some technical internship or something like that for 15 days, 20 days, and they believe that it's going to help them. The answer is yes, certain areas you get mileage out of it, but it's not going to help you a lot, because 15 days, 20 days of internship is nothing. Before even you understand what the company does, those 15 days are over, because you have weekends in this 15 days, you have other holidays coming up, and at the most you'll spend about 6 to 8 hours productive in the office. So you multiply 8 hours into 15 is the number of hours you spend. So what is that you're going to gain is a big question. Okay, so that's common mistake or common thing people do. Number two is that they go ahead and depend too much on college placements. Now I'm not telling that college does not get placements or anything. Depending on the college you are studying, there's a possibility that the college might go ahead and get you 4, 5 or 7, 8 companies, core companies, especially if you're from non-IT background, like from EC or EEE or mechanical or civil background. Go back and check the statistics on how many companies come into your college or has come into your college last 3 years or 5 years. Depending on that, you will conclude a number on how many companies are going to come this year. Okay, but no college that I know of invites about 100 core companies in every core. It's very difficult for a college to do that, and there are reasons why they cannot do that. However, let me go ahead and ask you a question. Let's say you have a bulldozer. Okay, a bulldozer, and there is one side a tree with 4 mangoes, and the other side there's a tree with 100 mangoes. Okay, and you only get to hit the tree only once. Which tree would you go ahead and hit? The 4 mangoes tree or the 100 mangoes tree? If you're smart enough, it does not take a lot of calculations, you will go ahead and hit the 100 mango tree, is because you know that the chances of you getting the mangoes is higher on the 100 side, right? So what I mean to say is, when the college brings in companies, 4 or 5 or maximum 8, 10 companies, don't depend on them. Yes, go ahead and attend the campus. I'm not telling don't attend. I'm just telling that the market is full of core companies. I know a lot of core companies, especially if you're from EC. A lot of my clients are from EC industry. If you're from EEE, yes, I have few clients there. If you're from civil, I have a lot of clients I service in civil, and same goes with mechanical and IT. There's a huge market again. Now, when there's a huge market of core companies, please understand they are looking for talents. Often I hear this, I hear the statement saying, this year in the core company, the placements are pretty bad. Not really. See, placement is bad for a person who does not deserve placements. For example, there was a recession time in my career when I used to work as an employee. Even in recessions, I have found jobs, and I know people in booming economy where they are not able to find jobs. So it's all up to you. If you are able to plan, channelize, and go ahead and come out with something that can actually connect you with the company. You don't have to worry about that. There are enough jobs. Take my word, there are enough jobs for you. Don't worry for the rest of India. Don't say, okay, there are 5 lakh mechanical engineers coming out, so do we have 5 lakh jobs? Don't worry about that. Worry only about you, and I can tell you, you will get your placements, right? So the answer is, you will go ahead and hit the 100 mango tree, and that's exactly what we are discussing in this video. Okay, how do you go ahead and hit your placements directly from the market? Okay, so the third thing is, the third mistake also, I'll tell you what normally people do. Even in the 6th semester, I know a lot of students who are not very serious, or who do not forecast what is going to happen. They just go back, sit, relax. They say, okay, some companies will come, let me see at that time. And believe me, that's why when at Elgo we did a survey. Now this is our survey, and the result says that 83% of Indian graduates, which means people with degree, 83% of them are either unemployed or misemployed, which basically means they have studied some degree and they go ahead and do some job which has nothing to do with their degree. Now it's a debatable topic whether you should start your career like this or not, and all those things. But I believe that if you have invested 4 years of your life, I repeat, 4 years of your golden years of your life, if you have invested on your degree, and I'm sure if you are from some very good college in in tier 1 cities or tier 2 cities, you would have spent about 10 plus lakhs. Now, why are you putting in so much of effort if you just want to start your career? If your degree and your career has to do nothing to do with, then why are you investing? Forget about the money. Why are you investing so much of time? You know what are you investing? You're investing your parents' hope. Just think for a minute. Doesn't your parent believe that after this engineering you're going to get a job for yourself? Doesn't your parents have a dream that my son or daughter after engineering will get into a large company from which the career will be built, and I'll set them up? And if you are a son or a daughter, only son or only daughter for your parents, then isn't there a dream that my child will go ahead and this degree is going to give them so much of mileage that this career is a great start for him? Don't you realize that your parents have especially fathers or mothers, whoever are working in your family, have compromised so many things just to make sure that you get this degree? Now, if that is true, then my question is, why is that you do not go ahead and become serious? Why is that you're counting? Why is that you're so helpless that every time somebody has to help you, whether it's your placements, your career, your whatever, somebody will bring it for me. The college has to arrange for placements. Why is that you are not ready to take the responsibility of your life? Why is that every major decision in your life has to involve people around you? What is that is stopping you from going ahead and becoming the guy in the market? If you are serious, I'm here to help you. Okay? So the whole question comes that after investing this 4 years of the 4 golden years of my life and a lot of money of my parents, am I gonna waste it and believe on the destiny or luck or somebody to go ahead and help me to start my career somehow? Or am I gonna take the responsibility and say, hey, you know what, last 3 years I played enough of video games, last 3 years I had enough of series watching, like Suits and this and that and all, everything I watch, but next few months I'm gonna listen to the mentor, do whatever it takes, and just make sure I set my 40 years career. And I'm telling you, 40 years of your career is at stake now. If you don't make a decision now, never again go back and complain that I did not get a chance. If you're watching this video, it's already going to be 10 minutes. If you are watching this video, you have lost the opportunity to go ahead and complain that I was never aware of how do I go ahead and find my placements. Okay, so let's shoot. Okay, listen to this carefully. Okay, now how do you go ahead and get your placements of your choice? Okay, the first thing is, if I am selling this pen, I should know what is the market of the pen. I cannot say I will produce a pen and then go ahead and decide where do I sell it. No. When the pen is, even before it is manufactured, when I'm doing my R&D, when I'm doing my market intelligence, I should be aware how many people will buy this pen, at what price will they buy, and how many actually are the users of current pen, and all those data, right? Which basically means before you choosing your degree, you should have done this data for yourself. As you have not done that, don't worry, we still have time. Okay, so how do we start? Let me simply break this down into 3 steps. Okay, number 1, or I'll be going in the reverse order. If you want to find a job in your core industry, the first thing you should know is where are the companies and what kind of jobs do they have. Simple thing. Let's say you're from EC department. Okay, if you're from this EC department, my question is, how many core EC companies are there in India and are there in your city? In our example, let's take Chennai. How many are there? Number 1. Number 2, what do you mean by company? Company basically comes, this word comes from 2 words. I always say this, company comes from 2 words. Number 1, comp, the other one is pennies. Comp basically means coming together, people coming together. Pennies means for money. Okay, people coming together for money is nothing but company, and that's how any organization is. Today you take IBM, HSBC, Bank of America, any big L&D company, everything basically means people. It is not it's not how big the building is of the company, it's not the branding, it's not the technology, it's not even the turnover. It is the people who become the company, right? So when I'm talking about company, it's basically the people working in the company. So you should go ahead and connect with these people, right? Now, who are the people you should connect in a company, and what are you supposed to connect? That is the level 2. Okay, this is the level 1, connect. Level 2 is basically what should you know to connect them better, and where do you find them? Now these people, now you cannot be connecting with everybody in the organization. That's stupid. One is you should definitely connect with the HRs. Okay, although the job creation is not in HR's hand completely, it is in the business head's hand. The entry or the gateway as a fresher for you to enter a company is in HR's hand. Okay, so it is important, it is critical for you to go ahead and connect with HRs. Number 1. Number 2, who are the think tanks of the company? A lot of times it is not the HRs, it is the business heads. They can be VPs, they can be directors, they can be any delivery manager, anybody. Okay, these positions, I call them as think tank, the ones who are like the power sources of the company. You have to go ahead and connect with them. Number 3 is you should go ahead and connect with somebody who's been working at the level which you want to enter. For example, I want to become a programmer. Okay, so I should be connected to somebody who's at that level for a couple of years. Or I want to become an analyst, so I should be connecting with people who are at an analyst level for a couple of years. Now, why is this important? The first 2 is pretty obvious. HRs, business heads, pretty obvious. The third one is important, is because he will actually tell you the reality. The HR might sell you the company, the business head might sell you the company, but the guy who's in the position that you're applying for last 2 years, he'll come and say, boss, nothing happens in this company. They only promise you a lot of stuff. He is your glass door. Okay, so connect with them, but don't believe everything they say, because sometimes when people do not grow, they always blame the HRs and the policies and the management and everybody in the company except for them. So it is important that you go ahead and connect with these 3. And the fourth one is you should also be connected with with all kinds of people there, but major are these 3. I repeat, HRs, business heads, and the guy in the position that you want to apply for. Right. Now the question is, these HRs and especially the business heads are like sharks in the ocean. You don't find them everywhere. You will not find them at a chai stall, or you will not find them just by just going around the company. You really need to connect with them. Okay, now where do you find them? I'll come to you. Now what should you have to connect with them is very, very important. Is because a lot of people walk up to me and they say, Fahim sir, I need a reference in the score company, or I need some references in, let's say, EEE company or mechanical company or civil or whatever companies. The point is, even if I give you a referral, please understand, you will not be able to use the referral. Okay, see, getting an email ID and a phone number today is no big challenge. Okay, having some tools that I normally train people on. Getting a HR or a business head's email ID is no big deal. Phone number, a lot of times you can easily get that. Now that is only a database. What are you going to do with that is the major question. All right. So how do you go ahead and connect with them, and what are the things that you require to connect with them? So it is important to go ahead and understand that you got to understand or master your industry before you connect with them. What am I talking about? For example, you should know how this company works. Let's say I want to connect with somebody in entity data. Okay. Now this is a very big company, very nice company. I know a few people who work there. Now it is important for me to go ahead and understand how this company works. Any company. Okay. Number two is I need to understand how does this company actually make money. This is the larger one, and we'll be going in deep into it. Okay. What is the business cycle, or what is the business model of this company? Number three is it is also important for me to understand who are the company's clients. Now this is a critical thing which a lot of people don't understand. For example, let's say you're from IT department, which is a very nice department, but it's a very tricky department. I'll tell you why. IT industry is not an industry by itself, but it is an industry that sits over other industries. What do I mean? For example, IT can be embedded with civil. IT can be embedded with automobile. IT can be embedded with banking. IT can be embedded with telecom. IT can be embedded with some other industry, but I don't think so IT can stand by itself. So it has to sit on or get embedded on the other industry. Now when it is doing that, the other industry that it is sitting on is important for you to know. And that's why you should know who are the clients of this company. For example, I know a particular IT company which deals with major financial companies, major banks, major financial servicing companies are their clients. So knowing that is a value add for me. And I mean, I don't want to pull this video too long, but just remember, you should know everything about this company. You should know a few people there. You should know how the company works, what are the projects going on, what are the clients, what are the locations, and if you can know one thing, that is a beautiful point for you to get in, and that is what are the pain points of the company. I know a lot of freshers don't think about this, and it's too much for a fresher to think about it. But I'll tell you what, when you understand the pain points of an organization, especially if you're applying with an SME company, boss, I'm telling you 100% you're in if you go with a solution. And the same can be replicated with MNCs as well. Okay, so you got to understand all that. Now for this, it is important for you to go ahead and read articles. It is important for you to go ahead and read blogs. It is important that you go ahead and research a lot. This is not, I'm telling you, this is not going to be easy. This is not going to be easy. And like, just quoting out of one character that I watch, his name is Harvey Specter from Suits. He says, if you want easy life, I've heard that McDonald's is hiring. Okay, so life is not that easy. So you got to go ahead and do this kind of research, and you need a proven system that will help you. Sometimes not knowing what to research itself is a confusion, and knowing what to research itself is an unknown fact, and all those things. So it is important that you have a proven system. Okay, like a lot of guys who follow me at Elgo Learnings know this kind of systems that we have established and all that. So it is important for you to go ahead and understand about the industry and about the company and in depth about it, right? Now when you're doing this, in order for you to go ahead and accomplish the second level, it is important that you go ahead and accomplish the level 1. What is level 1? I call it as foundation skills. As simple topics as your grooming, email writing, your small talks, your 4 skills, critical skills in foundation is your researching skills, your documentation skills, your connecting or interviewing skills, and the last one is your presentation skills. These are 4 critical skills that you have to master in your foundation. So it is like foundation level, you master all the skills, you know how to do it. Your second level, which teaches you about where you go ahead and research a lot about the company and do the presentation and all the collect the fact and all those things. And the third level is you go ahead and connect. Okay, now what happens when you do this? Let me also go ahead and tell you the result of it. Okay, when you do this, let's say you are my hiring manager. Okay, and assume that out of the blue, just assume that you are the hiring manager for Axis Bank or any bank. Okay, and you gonna first ask me a question, and there's a normal opener of any of lot of interviews, that is, tell me something about yourself. Now this is where we do not know what to do. We know that this is the most commonly asked question, and the funny part is we will only prepare the traditional way. We will never go ahead and understand or do something which is innovative. For example, I learned this 15 years back. Okay, when I used to apply. By the way, let me give you a little brief about what I am and how did I get my placements. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so I completed my bachelor's in physics, and then I completed my master's in literature when I was working, and my first full-time employer was a bank. So physics, literature and bank has nothing to do with, so I perfectly fit in that 83% criteria where misemployment happens. I'm one of those examples. Okay, and I can tell you a lot of disadvantages that happens when this happens. Nevertheless, the reason I won, and when I came out of my college, I did not have placements in my college. I come from a college where placements, there's nothing called placements there, even till today, I guess. But yeah, I was able to get through 4 offer letters, 4 interviews straight, all the 4 giving me an offer letter, not being rejected by one. Okay, am I boasting about myself? Not really. Glory to God who's given me this. But I'm just sharing my experience with you. How did I do this? 3 or 4 skills involved. Number 1 is people skills. I don't mind whichever engineering you come from, whether you come from mechanical, civil, you come from IT, you come from EEE, EC, automobile, whatever engineering you have done, unless until you master one engineering, you are always going to be mediocre. And that engineering is called human engineering, people skills. How do I talk? How do I make the other person interested in me? How do I go ahead and impress him? How do I go ahead and become so close to him that the bonding happens? How do I go ahead and impress the other person? Okay, and it's not the the model type impression. It is about how do you create an impression, an impact about your attitude in his mind. Okay, people skills, very, very critical. Second one is knowledge about the industry. If you do not know about your industry, congratulations, you are welcoming a very, very mediocre life. Number 3 are certain skills which are part of people skill anyway, but these are extraordinary skills like negotiation, influence, and the directional skills of what you do next. Lot of people cannot answer this one question. The question is, where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Okay, anyhow, these are topics that I normally go deep into, but let me come back to the main track. So you are my hiring manager at Axis Bank, and you're asking me, tell me something about yourself. I normally have the standard 3 to 4 lines that I have as a format, which I tell it to them, and they are super impressed, and I would like to share that with you now. Number 1 is I explain about myself as a third party. Number 2, I go ahead and speak about my skill set. Number 3, I go ahead and speak about my qualification. Number 4, I go ahead and speak about my real-time experience. Number 5, I tell them why is the reason I am the best for them. Okay, so I'll give you a sample. It's been some time, so let me just think about it. And okay, it starts like this. I say, I'm a 21-year-old graduate from XYZ college. That's about me. Then comes my skills. College from so and so. I have extraordinary skill. I have extraordinary people skills in terms of my communication, in terms of my leadership, in terms of my interpersonal skills that allows me to go ahead and engage with anybody and speak to them. Number three is I talk about either my certification or my technical skills, which those days I did not have, but I had the core knowledge. So I said, and I'm one of the enthusiasts in the banking industry, wherein I have learned a lot of real-time, facts about the banking, which makes me an eligible candidate for this position. Something like this, Now, it's been a few years that I've gone for a job interview, but because this came up in random, I just recollected and shared with you. Do form something like this, which is interesting. Okay, I do placement interviews even today, and when this interview happens, what happens? What really happens a lot of times is you become nervous, you do not know what to say, and you become so panicked at that time that you go ahead and say the same old story. My name is Christopher, I am from Chennai, I completed my engineering from so and so college, and my father is so, my mother is so, I am from a very poor family, and that's why I should be employed. What kind of a nonsense is that? So your opening is your first impression, guys. So have a great first impression. Okay, now the second question or the master question is, why should I hire you? What do you know about my bank? Right, here is where I go ahead and use my collection of facts. I say, sir, as you asked me this question, let me go ahead and explain why did I choose banking. Okay, and you're going to tell them that it was not by accident, it was by a choice. How do you do that? You can say that I'm a candidate who could have applied with, who could have mastered telecom, who could have mastered any other industry, but the reason I chose banking is, or BFSI is 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons. Why did you choose that? For example, I would say I chose banking is because it's one of the fastest growing industry in the world or in India, and banking is no longer just credit and debit. It has gone more to bank insurance, selling of gold. It is about assets, liabilities, so and so and so forth. Investment banking, global banking, this banking, that banking. There's so many things that you can speak about, and then you will slowly come to the conclusion of why am I choosing Axis Bank. Okay, or I'm just taking Axis Bank as an example. Okay, ICICI Bank or any bank, XYZ Bank. Now the reason I'm choosing this bank is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you're going to give reason, and that is where you will remove your research material and place it in front of him and say, this is the evidence with which I'm talking. Beautiful. So this tells the other man that you are prepared for this interview, for this job. Interview is just a process. For this job, you're somebody who's mentally sound, maturedly understand the role, and somebody who he can look into for leadership. And from there you can also move ahead and tell them the reason I'm applying is, you can show your next 3-year plans with them or 5 years plan with them, and that's where you show that I'm not. See, it is like this. Sorry, it is always about not what you are, but what you can be. Anybody who comes to Elgo Learnings today, we don't see who you are. We always see who you can be. And that's why we tell people that, you will not believe in next 9 months what you're going to become. In next 1 month what you're going to become. In next couple of years what you're going to become with us. Because we see what you cannot see. And always see yourself as the man you always wanted to be. Okay. So yeah, so that's about attending the interview with. Now where does this confidence and all comes? Where does this fact comes? When you research, when you prepare yourself. So if you're gonna ask me for for this summer vacation, what you should do, coming to the master topic, I would say this is what you're supposed to do. This is the time. Block all your unnecessary friends. Don't go on Facebook. Yeah, a few of my videos come, so you can watch that. Just kidding. But become serious, guys. I'll just tell you this last one story through which I want to conclude. Okay. Let's say you get into a good company at a very good package of say about 7 lakhs. Okay. As a fresher, 7 lakhs is brilliant. So 7 lakhs is your package to start with. So you make about 50,000 rupees, all taxes gone, 50,000 rupees, solid 50,000 plus will come into your hand. Happy? Great. Now out of this 50,000, I'm sure you're not married and all, so you give about 10,000 rupees for your parents. 10,000 rupees 20,000 rupees you spend on yourself. You're still left with 20,000 rupees liquid cash. Okay. Now in this 20,000, I come to you and I say, okay boss, you know what, I'm an investment banker, or I'm an investment guy, and I'm gonna tell you a scheme to go ahead and invest 5,000 rupees. You have 20,000 rupees in your hand, invest 5,000 rupees in the scheme, okay, in this plan. So what is the first question you're gonna ask me? You'll ask me, how long should I invest? I say you should invest for 18 to 20 years, or for 20 years. So you get surprised. But like 20 into 12 months is about 240 months. And 240 into 5,000 is about 12 lakh rupees. Pardon if my calculation is wrong. But such a huge amount you're investing for every single month. And you say, what happens if I fail to invest in one of the months for next 20 years? I say, if you fail to invest even a single month, the entire money is gone. So you're like, oh, that's pretty critical. So I say, okay, fair enough. So what will I get as returns? That's the smartest question you'll ask. What do I get in returns after investing it for 20 years? That time I say, I do not know. Only God knows what you're going to get. What will you call me? You'll say, hey, duffer, how can I invest 5,000 rupees every month for next 20 years and not even know what I'm going to get out of it? Now, according to you, I know that nobody will invest in such a scheme or such a plan. But I'll tell you the reality today. And this is probably the crux of today's talk. The reality is there are close to about 30 to 40 crore people in India who are investing in such kind of investments every month. Can you believe? There are more than 30 to 40 crore people who are investing in such an investment of say about 5,000 or 10,000 rupees every month for 20 years on a investment plan without knowing what the result is, just hoping that they should get good results. And believe me, you see these people every day. And let me tell you, these people are called parents. And that investing person is you. You are the person who your parents are investing for last 20 years. And I'm sure every parent is investing on an average more than 5,000 rupees on you. Hoping and believing and praying to God that this investment should fetch good results. And if this investment in the last year where next year he is going to get placed is still telling me, sir, I don't care, sir, let me get some placement, I do not know what to do, and you're sitting and watching TV and going out with friends and hanging around on Facebook, I don't know what kind of a human being you are. You know what? Do this experiment. You all use wallets. Take a photo of your father and your mother, put it on your wallet, open it when you're silent and when there's nobody around you, when you are by yourself. Open that photo and look at those photos and just laugh, okay? Just laugh and say, what a dumb this guy should be. How stupid this guy should be that they have been investing on this property for last 20 years. They have not eaten so many times. They have compromised on buying new clothes. They have compromised in every kind of luxury in their life. There are times when they have done overtime, hurt their bosses, abused them or shouted them, did not like to go to the job, but went for you. And you do not know what kind of result they are going to fetch in next 1 year's time. And yet go to your parents and say, I'm not sure what kind of placements I'll get. Please pray for me. Your mother will hug and say, kiss on your forehead. That's what my mother used to do. Kiss on my forehead and say, don't worry, beta. You'll get through very good company. When it is at this moment of time, what's the time right now? I'm recording this video at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll show you the time. Okay, quite difficult. Anyway. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I am doing this video. At this point of time, by any chance, you're not supposed to enter your parents' room without knocking the door in the night. But still, if by chance you look, you see your parents sleeping, just look at them and remember this one statement. They are peacefully sleeping with one hope that you will go ahead and get a fantastic career. And if you, after that also, if you're not able to, if your heart is not touched, then not me. Nobody can change you, man. Nobody can change you. They are the reason that you should go ahead and prove yourself. You have everything. I'll write and give you. You have everything that is required to become successful. If you are not starting in a company of your choice, if you are not in the in your core industry, then I don't know what you are. And if you are not sitting at a very good package next year, don't be too proud of yourself. You are just a mediocre guy. Okay, so with that, guys, I don't want to really pull this out too long, but I'm telling you, success quite often in life happens not because you need it, because you want it for others, and that the others can be family for you, others can be anybody for you. Okay, I wish you all the best, guys. Hope this video is an extraordinarily long video, and I hope I was able to motivate you a little, or to a large extent, where you can go ahead and take this summer challenge. Okay, and for any any ambitious guy, I'm always with you. That's because I understand what pressure you go through. I have gone through that. I have learned all these lessons that I'm telling you. It is not out of any book. It is out of my life. I have failed in my life. I have succeeded in my life. Every time I failed or I was failing, I knew I'll succeed. And after since 2002, today is 2018, about 16 years, I can tell you with confidence that I am able to prove myself. Yet when I look at my parents, I think I've done nothing for them. So I wish you all the best. Go ahead, get the paradise down for your parents, and even that is less for what they have done for you. I welcome you to the summer challenge. Let's take it as a challenge. Let's prove ourselves. God bless you. See you on top. You will be a CEO very soon. I love you guys. Bye-bye.